Let's go to Berta in Monterey, California. What's up, Berta?
Hi, John.
How are you?
Nervous.
Oh, don't be. I'm terrible at this. We'll figure this out together. No worries at all. I'm nervous too. It's all good.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
first, what's your full original name? Is it Berta?
No, it's Roberta.
Roberta. And then when did it switch from Roberta to my middle name is Robert? I thought we were going to have a moment here, but you screwed it up and started calling it Berta. So when did you switch to that name?
Well, it's a family name, so my grandma was Roberta, and then everybody called her Roberta, so everybody called me Little Bert. So it kind of was always, yeah.
So is there an obligation that if you ever have kids, you got to name one of them Roberta?
No.
This stops with me. Good job. All right, so what's up, Berta? How can I help?
Okay, so I'm the oldest of 5 kids, and
how old are you?
I'm 27.
Okay.
Then my sister's 25, so we're pretty close. And then we have 2 that are turning 18 this year. And then the youngest is only 6 years old. She surprised everybody when she showed up.
Heyo.
Yep.
Hello. Turning 6,
yeah.
huh? Very cool. So she has like 11 parents, right?
Pretty much, yeah. She does have a lot of parents.
Oh man. Okay, so you've got 100 brothers and sisters. One of them is 6. All right.
Yes. Well, my one that's closest to me in age, for a couple months, she's been like questioning with me. She's like, "Hey, I think Dad's talking to somebody who's not Mom. What do you think?" And I'm like, "Hey, that's not our situation. Like, Dad's just super friendly with everybody. Let's not push that. Don't read into it too much, because if you read into it, you're going to find something." And then my dad and the 6-year-old were at my house the other weekend, and the 6-year-old brought me Dad's phone and says, "Who's Dad texting I love you to?" Yeah. So.
And what did you do?
I looked at it and I told her, "Oh, it's just a coworker, sis. Like, don't worry about it. It looks like they were joking over something." And she's like, "Okay, can I play video games?" So I feel like she kind of brushed it off, but I mean, if she brought it to me.
Yeah, she didn't brush it off. How many times has she brought this up?
She's only brought it to me the one time.
Okay, so just that one time?
Yeah, they live 6 hours away from me.
Oh, okay.
So I have no idea what she's asking at home.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So when you saw that text, you're wise. You're an older sibling. You've seen the world. Is it what you think it is?
It's definitely what I think it is. It's definitely what my other sister thinks it is.
So did you scroll up? Was there some more shadiness?
I didn't scroll up. I saw the message. It had lots of hearts and kissy faces and stuff on it. And I'm just like, and I just put it down. I'm like, I don't need to see anymore.
Yeah, part of your soul died. So that was my first question. I tell everybody I love them. I've got a core group of friends, men and women, that I've had in my life for years and years and years, and it's important to me. I've worked around people tragedies so long that I want everyone to know the last time I talked to you, I said I love you, except for James and Kelly. I never tell them that. But this is different. Clearly, I don't put smiley faces and hearts and kissy faces after everything. So, wow. All right. So, what's next steps for you?
Well, I didn't want to say anything in front of my little sister because she's little. So I waited until they had left, and I called my dad, and I'm like, "Hey, this isn't okay. Kinsey's the one that found it. The baby's the one that found it. So obviously, Mom probably knows if Kinsey knows.
Maybe.
I don't know." And he didn't really say anything. He kind of just listened to me and then hung up the phone.
He just hung up on you?
Not really. He's like, "Okay, love you. Bye."
That's literally the strangest response to getting busted I've ever heard.
Yeah. My dad is not good at confrontation and words.
Well, clearly. Hey, Dad, I just found evidence you're having an affair. All right, see you later.
Yeah,
love you.
kind of.
Wow. Okay, so Whew. Okay, so how can I help?
I'm just curious, like, what do I do, if anything, next? Because I told him he needs to talk to Mom, and he's like, okay. And then it just hasn't, like, I've been getting texts from Mom that it just seemed fine, like everything is normal. But I haven't heard from my dad until, like, 2 weeks.
Okay.
I'm just curious, like, do I need to tell Mom? Like, I don't know. Like, if I was in that situation, I'd want somebody to tell me.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Part of me, as you're saying this, part of me is like, man, this is not my circus. And part of it is, no, you brought this to my house. And you have put me in a position where either I have to pull the pin on the grenade you put in my living room, or I have to lie and hold secrets from my mom. And my initial default is I don't keep secrets from my mom like that. And so what I would do is get back in touch with Dad and shoot him a text and say, we need to talk today. And then ask him, have you talked to Mom? Because I haven't heard anything. And say, you got 48 hours. And then I'm calling Mom.
Yeah. The other part of it is he actually called my other sister who was suspecting all this. And confessed to her and told her, instead of calling me back and saying, yeah. Or anything. And then she was asking if Mom knows, and he kept avoiding the question.
Yeah, of course. No, I mean, yeah. Now he's put you and your sister in a position to where, I don't want to talk bad about your dad. That's a pretty cowardly move because he's basically made it y'all's issue now. And now y'all are quickly in danger of your mom not trusting you, and rightfully so, because y'all are holding stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So I would tell him you got 24 hours or 48 hours, and then me and sister are calling Mom. Especially if he confessed everything to your other sister. Have everybody? You're 6 hours away, so it'd have to be a phone call, huh?
Yeah, it'd have to be a phone call.
Okay. Here's a couple things I would have you and your sister think through. Number one, what's the purpose of this phone call? Because there's a strong possibility that you call your mom and she's like, I know I've been dealing with this for 30 years. This is none of your business. That's number one. Number two, it could be this, now you've put her in a position to choose her kids or her husband, and that's messy. Number three, so you know what I'm saying? Like, so what is your purpose in this? And I would make the purpose, if I'm you, the disclosure. We're not going to have secrets like this inside this family, especially as we get up on the holidays. And we're not going to tell you what to do, Mom. If you tell us, hey, I'm forgiving Dad. It's been a whole thing. Nobody knows what's going on behind closed doors here. I'm forgiving him. We're working on this together. Great. If you tell us we're burning the house down and I'm going to, whatever, you know what I mean? So I think let her know that you will be in support of whatever decisions she makes. And then you two have to decide what you think of your old man.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to grieve that because that just sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Does this surprise you or no?
Not really. He's never done anything like that with Mom, but technically me and my oldest sister have a different mom, and that's how they ended. But that was 15 years ago.
So you and your sister, he had y'all two with another mom, and then he cheated on that woman with your mom, with the new mom?
No, it was another woman in between, and she's gone. And then we all really love the woman he's married to now, and she pretty much, we all call her Mom. We respect her as Mom. Do you hear the words you're saying when I just said, hey, has this happened before? And you're like, no, but yeah, several times actually. Yeah. This just sucks. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry that this fell in your lap. It shouldn't have, and it did. And yeah, somebody's got to be the adult in the situation. And unfortunately, it's not your dad. It's y'all. Yeah. And I personally, I'm not going to approach it from a gotcha or a can you, like an indignant rage. This is simply, this is happening, Mom, and we're heartbroken, and we're not going to keep secrets from one another in this house. Okay. And there's a way that you can be respectful and let everybody retain their dignity. And then you and your sister decide, like,
here's how we're gonna talk to Dad. We're not gonna talk to Dad. We're going to be honest with him about how much he broke our hearts and he blew the family up again, and. Or we're gonna say, hey man, this is your life. I hate that you screwed everything up. There's a 6-year-old involved here, which is heartbreaking. There's a whole family involved here, but this is a 6-year-old living in this crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was one of the hardest things for me was the little one.
Yeah. But it's hard for you too. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
she's definitely. 6, but don't collapse your pain too, because it's real. But yeah, I'd call him and say, you got 24 hours, 48 hours to act like a grown-up after acting like a child for all these years. Or I'm calling Mom. And me and sister are calling Mom. And by the way, call anyway.
Okay.
You know what I mean? She's going to need support and love. And she's probably thinking, oh gosh, these girls are going to side with Dad and whatever. If y'all love her and you respect her and you're heartbroken with her, I think it's important to let her know that y'all are standing by her side.
Okay.
Ugh, I'm so sorry, Berta. That just breaks my heart, man. And that poor 6-year-old. Jeez. Yeah, Berta, one more thing. That 6-year-old, she needs to know she did not break up this family when those questions come out over the next few years. Because she'll start putting 2 and 2 together that I picked up this phone and I handed it to Big Sister, and now everything's a mess. She needs to know Dad caused the mess, not her. Ugh, that's going to be a tough one to unwind. Thanks for the call, Berta.